is causing you stress, what is causing you worry. I hope that I can help distract you just for now to think about something else. So tonight I thought I could read you some of my favorite poems by Mary Oliver. I find Mary Oliver's poems to be very relaxing, and calming. And I wanted to share some of my favorite of her poems with you. I hope you enjoy. This morning, the redbird's eggs have hatched, and already the chicks are chirping for food. They don't know where it's coming from. They just keep shouting, more. As to anything else, they haven't had a single thought. Their eyes haven't yet opened. They know nothing about the sky that's waiting, or the thousands, the millions of trees. They don't even know they have wings. And just like that, like a simple neighborhood event, a miracle is taking place. The world I live in. I have refused to live locked in the orderly house of reasons and proofs. The world I live in and believe in is wider than that. And anyway, what's wrong with maybe? You wouldn't believe what once or twice I have seen. I'll just tell you this. Only if there are angels in your head will you ever possibly see one. Storage. When I moved from one house to another, there were many things I had no room for. What does one do? I rented a storage space and filled it. Years passed. Occasionally, I went there and looked in, but nothing happened. Not a single twinge of the heart. As I grew older, the things I cared about grew fewer, but were more important. So one day I undid the lock and called the trash man. He took everything. I felt like the little donkey when his burden is finally lifted. Things, burn them, make a beautiful fire, more room in your heart for love, for the trees, for the birds who own nothing, the reason they can fly. I don't want to be demure or respectable. I don't want to be demure or respectable. I was that way, asleep for years. That way, you forget too many important things. How the little stones, even if you can't hear them, are singing. How the river can't wait to get to the ocean and the sky. It's been there before. What traveling is that? It is a joy to imagine such distances. I could skip sleep for the next 100 years. There's a fire in the lashes of my eyes. It doesn't matter where I am. It could be a small room. The glimmer of cold bohemi saw on the kitchen pot was missed by everyone else in the house. Maybe the fire in my lashes is a reflection of that. or not, it hardly matters. I'm not trying to be wise. That would be foolish. I'm just chattering. On meditating, sort of. Meditation, so I've heard, is best accomplished if you entertain strict posture. Frankly, I prefer just to lounge under a tree. So why should I think I could ever be successful? Some days I fall asleep or land in that even better place, half asleep, where the world, spring, summer, autumn, winter, flies through my mind in its hardy ascent and its uncompromising descent. So I just lie like that, while distance and time reveal their true attitudes. They never heard of me, and never will, or ever need to. Of course, I wake up finally, thinking how wonderful to be who I am, made out of earth and water, my own thoughts, my own fingerprints, all that glorious, temporary stuff. Loneliness. I too have known loneliness. I too have known what it is to feel misunderstood, rejected, and suddenly not at all beautiful. Oh, Mother Earth, your comfort is great, your arms never withhold. It has saved my life to know this. Your rivers flowing, your roses opening in the morning. Oh, motions of tenderness. Do stones feel? Do stones feel? Do they love their life? Or does their patience drown out everything else? When I walk on the beach, I gather a few white ones, dark ones, the multiple colors. Don't worry, I say, I'll bring you back, and I do. Is the tree, as it rises, delighted with its many branches, each one like a poem? Are the clouds glad to unburden their bundles of rain? Most of the world says no, it's not possible. I refuse to think such a conclusion. Too terrible it would be to be wrong. What a gorgeous thing. I do not know what gorgeous thing the bluebird keeps saying, his voice easing out of his throat, beak, body into the pink air of early morning. I like it, whatever it is. Sometimes it seems the only thing in the world that is without dark thoughts. Sometimes it seems the only thing in the world that is without questions that can't and probably never will be answered. The only thing that is entirely content with the pink, then clear white morning, and gratefully says so. The storm. Now, through the white orchard my little dog romps, breaking the new snow with wild feet. Running here, running there, excited, hardly a long sentence expressing the pleasures of the body in this world. Oh, I could not have said it better myself. Her grave. She would come back, dripping thick water from the green bog. She would fall at my feet. She would draw the black skin from her gums in a hideous and wonderful smile, and I would rub my hands over her pricked ears and her cunning elbows, and I would hug the barrel of her body, amazed at the unassuming perfect arch of her neck. It took 4 of us to carry her into the woods. We did not think of music, but anyway, it began to rain slowly. Her wolfish, invitational half-bounce, her great and lordly satisfaction at having chased something, my great and lordly satisfaction at her splash of happiness as she barged through the pitch pines, swiping my face with her wild, slightly mossy tongue. Does the hummingbird think he himself invented his crimson throat? He is wiser than that, I think. A dog lives 15 years if you're lucky. Do the cranes crying out in the high clouds think it is all their own music? A dog comes to you and lives with you in your own house, but you do not therefore own her, as you do not own the rain or the trees or the laws which pertain to them. Does the bear, wandering in the autumn up the side of the hill, think all by herself she has imagined the refuge and the refreshment of her long slumber? A dog can never tell you what she knows from the smells of the world, but you know, watching her, that you know almost nothing. Does the water snake with his backbone of diamonds think the black tunnel on the bank of the pond is a palace of his own making? She roved ahead of me through the fields, yet would come back, or wait for me, or be somewhere. Now she is buried under the pines. Nor will I argue it, or pray for anything but modesty, and not to be angry. Through the trees there is the sound of the wind, palavering, the smell of the pine needles. What is it but a taste of the infallible energies? How strong was her dark body, how apt is her grave place, how beautiful is her unshakable sleep. Finally, the slick mountains of love break over us. Lines written in the days of growing darkness. Every year we have been witness to it, how the world descends into a rich mash in order that it may resume, and therefore who would cry out to the petals on the ground to stay, knowing as we must how the vivacity of what was is married to the vitality of what will be. I don't say it's easy, but what else will do, if the love one claims to have for the world be true? So let us go on cheerfully enough, this and every crisping day. Though the sun be swinging east, and the ponds be cold and black, and the sweets of the year be doomed. Tides. Every day the sea, blue-gray, green lavender, pulls away, leaving the harbor's dark, cobbled undercoat, slick and rutted and worm-riddled. The gulls walk there among old whalebones. The white spines of fish blink from the strandy stew as the hours tick over. And then, far out, the faint, sheer line turns, rustling over the slack, the outer bars, over the green-furred flats, over the clam beds, slippery logs, barnacle-studded stones, dragging the shining sheets forward, deepening, pushing, wreathing together wave and seaweed, their piled curvatures spilling over themselves, lapping blue, gray, green, lavender, never resting, not ever, but fashioning shore, continent, everything. And here you may find me on almost any morning, walking along the shore, so light-footed, so casual. I worried a lot. Will the garden grow? Will the rivers flow in the right direction? Will the earth turn as it was taught? And if not, how shall I correct it? Was I right? Was I wrong? Will I be forgiven? Can I do better? Will I ever be able to sing? Even the sparrows can do it, and I am, well, hopeless. Is my eyesight fading, or am I just imagining it? Am I going to get rheumatism, lockjaw, dementia? Finally, I saw that worrying had come to nothing, and gave it up, and took my old body and went out into the morning and sang. Swan. Did you too see it, drifting all night on the black river? Did you see it in the morning, rising into the silvery air, an armful of white blossoms, a perfect commotion of silk and linen as it leaned into the bondage of its wings, a snowbank, a bank of lilies biting the air with its black beak? Did you hear it, fluttering and whistling, a shrill, dark music, like the rain pelting the trees, like a waterfall, knifing down the black ledges? And did you see it, finally, just under the clouds, a white cross streaming across the sky, its feet like black leaves, its wings like the stretching light of the river? And did you feel it in your heart, how it pertained to everything? And have you, too, finally figured out what beauty is for? And have you changed your life? How I go to the woods. Ordinarily, I go to the woods alone, with not a single friend, for they are all smilers and talkers, and therefore unsuitable. uprise of weeds until the foxes run by unconcerned. I can hear the almost unhearable sound of the roses singing. If you have ever gone to the woods with me, I must love you very much. Those are all the poems I thought I'd read to you today. Many of them are some of my favorites, but I would love